Welcome to a new episode of Dark Nature, the channel where we reveal the mysteries and curiosities of planet Earth. Today, we cross the threshold into a territory where modern maps lose their meaning and greed turns into a death sentence. We are heading to the heart of Arizona, to the shadows of the Superstition Mountains. A jagged, volcanic fortress that guards the most famous unsolved mystery of the American West, the lost Dutchman's gold mine. To understand the darkness of this place, we must travel back to 1891. Jacob Waltz, a German immigrant known as the Dutchman, lay on his deathbed in Phoenix. Legend says that beneath his bed was a weathered wooden chest filled with gold or of a purity never seen before, almost 90% pure gold. With his final breaths, he whispered cryptic clues about a mine hidden in the canyons, a place where the sun hits a needle-shaped rock at a specific angle. But Waltz didn't just leave a map, he left a warning. He claimed the mine was protected by spirits that wouldn't let him rest. Since that day, the Superstition Mountains have become a graveyard for the ambitious. We aren't just talking about people getting lost, we are talking about documented cases of extreme violence and inexplicable events. In 1931, Adolf Ruth, a retired government worker, went into the mountains with what he claimed were the original Peralta maps. 6 months later, his skull was found with 2 bullet holes in the temple, yet his maps and his gold teeth were untouched. If it wasn't a robbery, what was it? An execution? Or as the locals believe, a sacrifice to the mountain. The geology of this range in Arizona is a puzzle in itself. Formed by massive volcanic eruptions 25 million years ago, the terrain is a chaotic maze of solidified ash and basalt. This creates a phenomenon known as acoustic mirrors, where sounds from miles away can seem to be whispered right into your ear, or where your own footsteps echo back with a terrifying delay. This psychological warfare, played by the landscape itself, has driven many explorers to the brink of madness. The Apache tribes, the original inhabitants of this land, call it the entrance to the underworld. They refuse to enter certain canyons even today, claiming that a race of gray giants, or stone people, guards the heights. According to their oral history, the gold doesn't belong to the earth, but to these guardians. Every year, at least 4 or 5 people disappear in these 160,000 acres of wilderness. Some are found, dehydrated and babbling about shadows that move, others are never seen again. As we peel back the layers of this first chapter, we realize that the Superstition name isn't a marketing gimmick, it's a warning. The gold is real, the deaths are documented, and the silence of the Arizona desert is louder than you can imagine. Is the lost Dutchman's mine a physical place, or is it a siren song designed to lure the unwary into a geological trap from which there is no escape? In this second stage of our investigation into the Superstition Mountains, we leave behind the legends of gold to face something even more disturbing, the total collapse of modern science. Arizona is known for its clear skies, but over this specific mountain range, pilots have reported dead zones, where radio frequencies simply vanish. In the 1970s, military flight tests recorded inexplicable magnetic deviations near Weaver's Needle. It's not just a minor glitch, we are talking about compasses rotating 180 degrees in seconds. Geologists suggest that the high concentration of magnetite and quartz in the volcanic rock could create a natural, Faraday cage effect, but this doesn't explain the localized gravity anomalies reported by hikers who claim that water appears to flow uphill in certain ravines. We must also talk about the infrasound phenomenon. These mountains are carved in a way that the wind, when hitting specific rock faces, generates low-frequency sounds, below the human hearing threshold. Scientific studies have shown that infrasound at 19 Hz can trigger feelings of extreme dread, cold flashes, and even visual hallucinations. Could this be the demons the miners described? Or is the mountain using physics to protect its secrets? Furthermore, let's look at the strange thermal signatures. Modern drones equipped with FLIR cameras have captured heat pockets inside solid rock walls where no caves are known to exist. These hot spots remain constant even during the freezing desert nights. Some independent researchers suggest there could be an underground volcanic vent system, or perhaps, something artificial buried miles deep that is still radiating energy. In 2010, a team of researchers attempted to map the area using LiDAR technology. The results were inconsistent. Large sections of the canyon floor appeared as data voids, as if the laser pulses were being absorbed or deflected by an unknown material. It's as if the Superstition Mountains in Arizona are actively resisting being mapped. The deeper we go into the technical data, the more the mystery grows. From electronic fog that disorients experienced hikers to the unexplained high levels of radiation found in specific, localized patches of soil where nothing, not even cacti, will grow. Is this a natural laboratory of extreme geology, or are we looking at the remnants of an ancient technology that predates our history? As we push deeper into the heart of the Superstition Mountains in Arizona, the air grows thin and the silence becomes heavy, almost suffocating. In this third chapter, we must confront the most terrifying aspect of this range, the human cost. We are not just talking about people who got lost due to a lack of water, we are talking about seasoned outdoorsmen, soldiers, and investigators who entered these canyons and simply ceased to exist, or worse, were found in conditions that defy any logical explanation. The dark history of disappearances is anchored in the mid-19th century with the Peralta family. According to archival records, the Peraltas were Spanish aristocrats who discovered a series of incredibly rich gold veins in these mountains. But their success was short-lived. In 1848, a massive expedition of over 400 miners was reportedly ambushed by Apache warriors. The massacre grounds, as they are known today, remain a place of profound sorrow. It is said that the soil there is still stained by the greed of those who tried to take the mountain's soul. But the mystery isn't just the battle, it's that despite the massive number of people involved, almost none of the gold they were carrying was ever recovered. It vanished, as if the earth itself had opened up to swallow it back. Moving into the 20th and 21st centuries, the cases become even more chilling. Let's talk about the 2009 disappearance of Jesse Capon, a hotel bellman from Denver who had spent years obsessing over the lost Dutchman's mine. Jesse was no amateur, he was meticulous, he had studied every map, every rock formation, and every diary entry left by Jacob Waltz. When his abandoned campsite was found, his GPS, his water supplies, and his money were all there. But Jesse was gone. It took 3 years for search teams to find his remains, wedged into a crevice high up on a cliffside, a place so inaccessible that rescuers had to use specialized climbing gear just to reach him. Why would a man leave all his survival equipment behind to climb a vertical wall into a dead-end crack? Some say he was running from something. Others believe he was called by the mountain. But the Superstition Mountains don't just take lives, they twist reality for those who survive. There are numerous reports of time slips in the Peralta Canyon. Hikers have emerged from the trails claiming they had only been gone for an hour, only to find that 3 days had passed in the outside world. This phenomenon, often linked to high-energy magnetic anomalies, suggests that the strange mineral composition of Arizona's red rocks might be creating localized distortions in the space-time continuum. And then, there are the shadow people. Many witnesses, including cynical law enforcement officers and park rangers, have reported seeing tall, dark silhouettes moving with impossible speed across the jagged ridges. These figures don't appear on infrared cameras, yet they leave physical tracks, large, non-human footprints that end abruptly in front of solid rock walls. Are these the guardians the Apache spoke of? Or is it possible that the intense heat and the infrasound we discussed earlier are breaking down the human mind, creating a collective hallucination that has lasted for centuries? As we stand at the edge of the infamous Charlevoix Canyon, we have to ask ourselves, how many more bodies are hidden in these deep, sun-scorched fissures? The desert doesn't keep secrets, it buries them. In Arizona, the line between myth and reality is as thin as the edge of a cactus spine. Is it possible that the Superstition Mountains are not just a geological formation, but a sentinel? A guardian that uses fear, disorientation, and even death to ensure that some treasures remain forever out of human reach? Stay with us, because in our final chapter, we will go where few dare to tread, the hidden caves that supposedly house the gold, and the final, shocking theories that link these mountains to something far beyond our world. Don't forget to subscribe to Dark Nature and hit the notification bell, because the truth about Arizona is darker than the shadows in these canyons. We have reached the final stage of our journey through the Superstition Mountains. We have analyzed the blood-stained history of the gold, the scientific anomalies that break our instruments, and the chilling disappearances that haunt the Arizona desert. But now, we must go deeper. We must look into the theories that mainstream science refuses to touch, the theories that suggest these mountains are not just a pile of volcanic rock, but a gateway to something beyond our comprehension. For decades, local residents and veteran hikers have reported more than just ghosts. There is a persistent legend of the Apache portals. According to certain tribal elders, there are specific spots in the canyons where the air shimmers like heat on asphalt, even in the middle of winter. These are said to be entrances to the Uku Pasha, or a subterranean world. In the 1950s, a group of gold prospectors claimed to have found a tunnel lined with perfectly smooth, metallic walls that felt warm to the touch. When they returned with equipment the next day, the entrance had vanished, replaced by a solid, seamless cliff face. Was it a collective hallucination, or does the mountain have the ability to camouflage its most sensitive areas? This leads us to the UFO connection. Arizona is a global hotspot for unexplained aerial phenomena, but the frequency of sightings over Weaver's Needle is staggering. Pilots from the nearby Luke Air Force Base have occasionally reported UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, descending at impossible speeds directly into the mountain peaks, with no impact and no debris. Some researchers argue that the high quartz content of the mountains acts as a giant natural resonator, an antenna for energies we are only beginning to understand. Could the lost Dutchman's mine actually be an ancient, buried technological site? Is the gold Jacob Waltz found not a mineral, but a component of something far more advanced? The danger here is very real, and it's not just the terrain. There are reports of men in black, or unidentified private security teams patrolling the most remote sectors of the Superstition Wilderness. Hikers have shared stories of being intercepted by silent, well-armed individuals in unmarked desert gear, telling them to turn back because of classified geological surveys. Why would the government or private corporations be so interested in a supposedly empty wilderness? What are they protecting? Or more importantly, what are they trying to keep inside? As the sun sets one last time over the jagged horizon of Arizona, casting a shadow that looks like a giant reclining figure, we reflect on the thousands who have come here seeking wealth. Most found only dust. Some found death. But a few found a truth that changed them forever. The Superstition Mountains are a mirror. They reflect your deepest desires and your darkest fears. If you go looking for gold, the mountain will show you your greed. If you go looking for God, it might show you the void. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the shadows of the American West, please support our mission. Subscribe to Dark Nature, like this video, and share your own theories in the comments below. Have you ever felt a presence you couldn't explain? Would you dare to spend a night alone at the foot of Weaver's Needle? Your engagement helps us keep the lights on in the darkest corners of our planet. We leave Arizona now, but the mountains remain, silent, ancient, and hungry. The mystery of the lost Dutchman is still out there, waiting for the next person brave enough, or foolish enough, to follow the sunset into the canyons. But remember, in nature, some things are hidden for a reason. And some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. Thank you for watching this special presentation. This is Dark Nature.